welcome back to math. Last class, we were solving equations, solving for x and y with substitution, okay? So, remember, substitution last class. Okay, last class we used substitution. Today, we're doing another different method for solving x and y compared to last class. Remember last class we solved or we moved things around to solve for in a way for one variable to plug it into the other. Today we're not going to do that. All we're going to do is try to match them up, try to cancel something out. Okay, so today's concept is still solving systems, but instead of solving systems with substitution, today we're going to solve systems with elimination. Okay, so it's another way of solving for x and y into equations. So let's get started on today's concept. The problem we'll be dealing with today is 2x minus 4y equals negative 26. That's one of the problems, okay? The other problem is, let's do another color just so we can see the difference between equations. The other equation is 3x minus y equals negative 24. Usually, like I said last class, we were solving one of the equations for x and y, then we plugged it in. This time, we're not going to do that. What we're going to do instead is we're trying to match something out to cancel it out. Okay? Notice that we have 2x minus 4y equals negative 26, and then 3x minus y equals negative 24. I always like to look for a variable that it has no number in the front, which is a 1, right? That makes it a lot easier to manipulate to make it different, okay? To change the number in there. Notice that we have no number here on the y. So that's what we're going to focus on, okay? Negative y, what we're trying to do is make it the opposite of the other equation. Notice that up here we have negative 4y. We're trying to cancel them out. So the opposite of negative 4y would be positive 4y. Okay, the negative 4y, positive 4y cancel each other out because one's positive, one's negative, becomes 0. But the issue here is, remember, whenever you alter anything, you move things around, you have to do it to one side of the equation as well as the other. Here, you have to do it to the whole equation you're going to manipulate, okay? In order to make this into a positive 4, notice it is already negative, we have to multiply by something to make it positive 4, because we already have a negative 4. So if we already have a negative, another negative 4 will make it, because remember, it's a 1. Negative 1 times negative 4 makes it positive 4, because the negative makes it positive. So we're going to alter the whole equation. We're going to make it, or multiply the whole equation by negative 4. Because remember, we're looking for the y. We want to make this into a positive 4. For now, we're going to keep the top one the same. What we're going to deal with is distribution on the bottom. We have negative 4, because remember, we want to make this the same. Or well, at least cancel each other. Not the same, but cancel each other out. Okay? So we have negative 4 times 3 is negative 12x. Okay? Because negative 4 times 3, negative 4 times negative 1 is our positive 4y. Plus 4y equals, again, negative 4 times negative 24. Negative and negative makes it positive. 24 times 4. We have 16, 8, 96. So we have 96. Okay? Oh, I didn't like that 9. Let me erase it really quick. 96. Okay? That's our new equation. Now we have 2x minus 4y equals negative 26. And then negative 12x plus 4y equals 96. All I'm going to do now is bring this equation under our new equation. So we have 2x minus 4y equals negative 26. What we're going to do now is we're going to make a little line, okay, under. Now we're going to do regular adding and subtraction to each one of those pairs. Notice that we have negative 12x. There's no number in front of the 2. We know that if there's nothing there or no sign in front of the 2, it's positive 2. So negative 12 plus 2, you subtract 2 from the 12, we're left with negative 10. So we have negative 10x. Remember, the whole point was to cancel something out. We cancel out the y's. Plus 4 minus 4 cancel each other out. We're left with equals 96 minus 26. We have 6 over 0. 6 take away 6 is 0. 9 take away 2 is 7. So we have negative 10x equals 70. But remember, we're solving for x and y. We're almost solving for x because all we have to do is one more step. Remember, the opposite of multiplication, because we're trying to leave x alone, is division. So we divide by negative 10. Keep in mind, don't forget the negative, okay? We're not changing the signs. All we're doing is from multiplication to division, keep the sign. So negative 10. So x equals, remember, x was left alone. 70 divided by negative 10. Positive divided by negative is negative. 7, or 10 went to 70 7 times, right? So our answer for x is negative 7. Keep in mind, we're not done yet, okay? We solved for 1. Now what we're going to do is we're going to solve for y. You can use any one of the 2 equations to solve for y. I will personally like to use the first one, okay? 2x minus 4y equals negative 26. You could also use the original equation, which was 3x minus y equals negative 24. But I'm going to use the top one, just so I won't confuse anybody. So let me erase this other stuff. Let me write on the side that x equals negative 7, because that was our answer for x. Remember, now I'm only going to keep the problem we're going to use. Okay, I don't really need the other problem right now, so I'm going to erase the other problem. So like I said, I was going to use the original problem. We're going to plug in negative 7 for x. So we have 2 parentheses negative 7 minus 4y equals negative 26. Notice that I didn't change anything over here on the other side because, remember, we still don't know what y is. We know what x is, so instead of x, we plugged in -7 because we found out that x equals -7. We're almost done. I know it's probably a lot of work. We're almost done. So 2 times -7 is -14 minus 4y equals -26. Notice that, again, we can only combine numbers that have variable with numbers that have variables, numbers that don't have variables with numbers that don't have variables. So the only logical thing to do here is we have to get rid of this 14, move it to the other side of the equal sign. You might ask yourself, why not move the -26? Because if you do that, you unbalance the scale. You have to have something on each side of the equal sign. So the only option is the -14. So it becomes +14. Cancels out. You do the same thing on the other side, +14. We're left with -4y equals, remember, they're opposites. Notice that the -26 is bigger, so you know your answer is going to be negative. But we need to find out what 26 minus 14 is, which is 12. So we have -12. We're almost done. Again, we'll turn this off for y. The opposite of multiplication is division. Keep the negative. Y equals 4 can go into 12 3 times. Notice that they're both negative, so the answer is positive. So our answers for x is x equals -7, y equals 3. And that's how we solve for x and y, okay? Make sure you have all this on your notes. Make sure you pause the video, write it down. Whenever I'm explaining something, if you feel like I'm going too fast, go ahead and be pausing the video while you keep up with all the notes. So now that you know how to solve for x and y using elimination, you're ready for your assignment. I know, guys, I know it was a lot of work to write down or a lot of notes. It's a long process, I know. This is why I'm only going to give you one problem. You'll solve for both x and y. Okay? So if you need any help, any questions, let me know. Your assignment for today is 3x plus y equals, my bad, it wasn't plus, it's minus y equals 12. And then we have 5x plus 2y equals 20. Okay? So, like I said, notice that the equation can be solved for one of the variables really quick. You can alter one of the variables. Once you solve for both x and y, make sure you submit your answers, and I'll be waiting to hear from you.